And we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back.
Yay!
Yay.
It's a whole nother year of Guardianships and a whole nother year of the Guardian podcast. It's good having you guys back on.
It's bigger, it's better. There's only 3 people here right now.
Yep. Well, there's a whole different story, but
Yeah.
I guess we should let people know. We normally would have more people, but it's going to be a short podcast today, and also one of the people who I wanted to be on can't be on because of a back injury, so we're letting
Because
him.
he's on lots of drugs right now.
Yeah, a lot of pain, muscle relaxers.
I'm a
So
little jealous of that.
Yeah, I saw.
You have no idea.
Muscle relaxers.
You have no idea how good those things are when you have really tight back muscles. Oh, it feels so good.
oh, I know the feeling. I had a kidney stone, and they put me on muscle relaxer as soon as I got to the hospital. I was like, "Oh, this hurts." Oh, that's nice.
I've never been on
that feels
anything
good.
stronger than ibuprofen. Like,
Muscle-
seriously.
My mom used to have muscle relaxers all the time, and she would always pass me one when I was little. I probably shouldn't say that.
Oh God.
We're like, the DEA is gonna like knock in your door.
No, I was like in middle school and high school, but
Still, probably not a good thing that your mom was doing that. So,
I'm okay without them.
We don't
but
bark during the podcast, puppy.
but it's good having you guys back. It's a whole new season, and yeah, we're spending time this day to basically go over the logistics and everything, just to give a brief rundown of what we're about and kind of set up an example for future podcasts to come. This is a very, very casual podcast.
As if I wasn't
Yeah,
enough of an example for that.
yeah, this is a very casual podcast. There's no pressure or anything. This is not a way for us to go, oh, these are the bad Guardians. Let's kick them out before RTX, or like this is not like,
We don't have that power anyways.
yeah, we don't have that power. But we're not. This is just we're trying to get people to come together, get to know each other, and have fun. So the whole idea started back, I think it was 2013 Guardians, and we just wanted to set up a podcast between Guardians so we could just chat, hang out, meet new people, and that's exactly what happened. And we've been continuing it ever since.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I met you guys. So.
Yeah. Is that how I
And
met you, Cinder?
Yeah.
I feel like that was like exactly how I met you,
Uh,
and now we're like best buddies.
it's amazing how the Guardians bring a lot of people together in this world. Yeah, like I wouldn't have been able to meet you. I wouldn't have been able to meet awesome people like Soleil, Red, and quite a few other people, and also Colin, which I might add.
Oh, that loser. Nah.
Yeah, we might. We
he's
might
on a flight though.
Yeah,
He
he's
just-
on a
he-
plane.
Yeah, because he just finished up volunteering at RTX and U. So.
Yes, he was at RTX AU, so we'll have a Australian Guardian and
Or two.
or two, because I think Dom's coming on at some point in the next couple weeks or so.
Oh, really? I want to be on when Dom is on. Dom is great.
Yeah, Dom is really fun. He's
I don't know Dom.
he's Count 3D. He's on he helps run the RTX side quests.
He was working in the expo hall, so like I got to know him really well.
Yeah, I was stuck at the JW all last year, so
I'm pretty sure if we showed you a picture, you'll recognize him.
probably not. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
I did not. That whole last year, I did not leave the third floor whatsoever.
Yeah, but you were basically running that whole thing with
Yeah, you were
Gus.
busy.
Not just me, just my lead and I.
Yeah, you and Gus, I believe.
Yeah, we should probably say what we were last year.
Yeah, go ahead. Kira?
I was a small cog in the machine of the expo hall. I was in charge of like 20 exhibitors. I think I was called a zone leader. Don't quote me on that. I had some sort of title that I can't remember right now, but I was in charge of like a smaller subsection of exhibitors to take care of them a little bit better.
It's like, I swear I was important at some point. But there's a lot of titles that get thrown around too, because I think what was it? What are they called now? It's not security. It's called something else.
Response.
Response, yeah.
Thank you. They changed that up last year because they were called security up until last year, and they got called response because they didn't want to get confused with the actual security
stuff.
Yeah, which makes sense. But yeah, response has a whole system where they have like leads, like the main leads, lieutenants, and then fire team leads, and then the people in the fire teams.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets confusing because they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm a lead for response." I'm like, "Okay, which lead? You got to expand a little bit on that."
Yeah.
Well, the thing about the expo hall is that like they divided it into like 6 or 8 areas that were numbered, and then each area had like A, B, C, D like zones. So I wasn't I wasn't one of the 8 zones. I was like 6A or whatever, in charge of the people in that box. So
Okay. All right.
It was fun. It's actually really fun.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and plus you guys help save like the PA's asses every now and then whenever a certain someone brings out his bagman disguise.
Yeah, we are always kept apprised of when people are in disguise on the expo hall because other attendees figure it out.
Yeah. And they caught on quick this past year.
They caught on quick. So they're gonna have to step up their disguise game this time.
Oh yeah. Cinder?
Okay. So I was a panel lieutenant, which is right under our satellite lead over at the JW Marriott. So panels, in regards, they have a lot of positions. Like you have your basic guardians, and then each panel has a panel room manager and a panel room co-manager. Above that would be a lieutenant. Last year, because we had different locations, we had our satellite leads, and then we have our head lead, and then there's always like Mary and Chris. So I was one of the lieutenants over at the JW, and that was fun. Friday. Oh gosh. Friday was probably, in regards to how busy things were, it was probably incredibly busy. I like to say that it was like Friday was red, Saturday was yellow, and Sunday was all green. Because at the end of, by Sunday, my lead and I were just like, we've got nothing to do because all of our managers, our co-managers, and all of our guardians over at the panels were doing their jobs perfectly well. We were like, we've got nothing to do compared to Friday. So we ended up just pulling tape. But, yeah, panels is a lot of fun. It's just, I think a lot of times people don't quite understand how much work we actually put into panels. There was also the fact that last year we were also short-numbered, so we usually have one manager per room, and over at the JW we had one manager for 2 rooms. So it was fun last year.
Yeah.
Were you guys short? Were you guys short because you had the 3 separate areas and that was something new?
We had a lot of dropouts. We had a lot of people that signed up for panels, and then for a variety of reasons could no longer do it. We even had people that just didn't show up. So we were very short-numbered.
But you guys seem to handle it quite well, despite that.
After Friday, we kind of ironed out a lot of the wrinkles of everything, because it was the first year that we were doing satellite locations.
Yeah.
So, but
Which
yeah.
I guess we should explain what the satellites are.
Yeah, but
they're not actual satellites.
Yeah.
in any case, it's panels is fun, but it's a lot of work, and it can be really tiring.
Oh, yeah.
So.
But she was referring to something called satellites. What's different about the past year and the years to come versus the previous RTXs was that the fact that we added new locations, we're expanding into other hotels. For instance, like the Hilton and the JW Marriott last year. And we had because we had more guests, we had more room to go into, so we called the other hotels satellites. And we had like a team leader for each of those satellites. And then we split up like a lot of the teams into those satellite groups, like for instance, like with lines and panels and respawns for that matter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think the only team that like didn't have to split up was Expo, because there's only one Expo hall.
Oh yeah,
and
MPAs as well. But we
MPAs,
just kind of scatter wherever we're needed. But for people, I'm Jordan. I guess we didn't even introduce ourselves. God, we're already off on a.
Oh. Hey, at least you guys have little bars. Mine's
we have little bars.
Yeah, we're getting at the old kinks and the.
It's because we know each other, so we're just like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, we're all just. This is casual for us. We're all in a D&D group, so we all chat all the time. So.
I'd say we also chat outside of that too.
That's true, but we have our own Skype thing, so that's different. Like we just casually talk on there as well.
We are the cool kids.
Oh, don't say that.
Hey, we are cool in our own way.
Okay, I'm gonna be the mother. I'm gonna be the mother here and stop bullying the kids.
That was a joke, Cinder.
I thought it was a joke.
But for those of you wondering who we are, we have our little name bars down there. But I am Jordan Lucas. I go by Ninja Spectre on the website, and I was a PA Guardian for the past 2 years, and hopefully this year again. I PA'd for the wonderful Miles Luna, who is often quite hard to keep up with. But
that beautiful, beautiful man.
He is quite the trip, though. That's why I like PAing for him.
We actually have a question. Sorry, I'm like really distracted by that. So I'm like, wait, what?
I was going to get to it after we do this.
Someone's watching this?
Yeah, we got 3 viewers.
Okay. Okay, so you're Jordan. Hi, Jordan.
Yep.
I'm Kira. I'm Kira. I go by Sunset Dawn on the Rooster Teeth site, and the first Guardian podcast that I was on gave me the nickname Solar Beam, so I kind of go by that too.
Yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, just any of those names, I'll answer to them. And I'm Expo.
Yeah.
Cinder.
Mm-hmm. Right. Remember, I'm filling in. It's my dinner time. I'm Cinder. I've been, this is going to be my 3rd year. The last 2 years I was panel Guardian. I was panel co-room manager and co-manager and then manager last year. And then the year before that. And then this year, last year. Okay, hold on. My first year, I was a panel, room, manager, and co-manager. And then last year, I was the panel lieutenant. This year, probably going to be panels again. Panel, they have a tendency, if they have good people, they tend to keep good people. So.
Yeah. But they're large enough teams that they'll be taking new people as well.
It's true.
They're always room for expansion.
That's true. But my lead last year was just, he told Mary specifically, no, I have to have her. So it's likely I'm going to get panels again.
But
That's a pretty good thing, though.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have your team lead be like, no,
But
no one's allowed to take care.
but despite that, we don't know our positions for sure.
No, we don't.
Not until we get that special message from Bethany, Barbara, Mary, whoever decides to give us the news that day.
Yeah. It's just like, I know that there's like a 90% chance that I'm going to be back in Expo Hall because I did really well last year.
Yeah.
And my team leads know that I did. So like, there's always that sort of thing where you're like, I'm pretty sure that they're going to ask to have me on their team.
Yeah.
But things happen.
But
so.
you always have to put in there, you never know. Because, for instance, I've been PAing for Miles for 2 years now. Him and I are good friends, but you never know. Like, I could get pulled off and they need me somewhere else. And that has happened.
Panels!
Yeah.
Jordan, come join us at panels.
If you guys really need me that badly, you can talk to Mary. But, okay, going to the question. It's Mark Messmore, also known as Undead Drunk. I actually had him on a podcast last year. So he says, how excited are you guys for this year? I am incredibly excited, as usual. Per usual. You had to go make the scene cool. I had to seem cool and use urban slang like that.
Please don't.
Am I one of the cool kids now?
You're one of the cool kids, Jordan.
Thank you.
You've always been a cool kid.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Just never use those words again, please.
I totally missed it. I was focused on my potato, so my dinner time.
But so Kira and Cinder, how excited are you guys about this year? And about when you come?
No, I'm actually really excited. I'm excited it's going to be slightly earlier in the year, which is always nice.
Yeah, it was strange having it in August.
It was a little bit much, I think. It just felt odd to have it that late, so I'm excited that they kicked it back again.
Well, they were trying something new because it corresponds with the 4th of July holiday, so
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. I just absolutely love being a guardian, because I'm a loser, and I'm excited to be back and see what kind of craziness goes on this year, because there were some insane things that went on last year.
And we're all going back for that, that the same old fee of the free T-shirt every year.
Oh yeah, the free T-shirt. I'm wearing mine.
Oh yeah, you are. So
it's like not deliberate at all. I was like, oh, this one's clean, and I put it on. I was like, oh.
I was actually considering putting on a Guardian shirt, but I couldn't find where I put them.
These shirts are so comfy. Like, I hope they choose the same fabric.
I know, they were so comfy. They were so comfy last year. The head, what was it called? Like the very light material.
I have no idea.
Cotton? I don't know.
I don't know. It's called a specific thing. I can't remember. I know the color.
Lightweight cotton.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know what it's called.
But they breathed really well last year.
I think someone in the forum already mentioned it, and Mary said that they would have to contact Bethany or Barbara, and I think that person's probably going to contact them and tell them that the material last year was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's polyester and cotton and rayon.
Well, there you go. The secret ingredient.
So it's 50% polyester, which is synthetic, and then cotton and rayon are both natural fibers that help it breathe a little bit better.
Okay. But yeah, the shirts last year, if we get anything like we did last year, like these are some of the most comfy shirts that you'll have. They're a little bit of a tight fit, but they're comfy.
I think you're fine.
Oh, it was a little bit of a tight fit for me, but then again, I was stuck in between sizes last year. And then we got
this person.
Ian.
Was he on my team? I can't remember. We had 3 teams. There was Hilton, JW, and ACC.
Ian, if you're listening, could you please specify which team you were in? But yeah, we got a panel person here watching us, and
yay, panels! Which panels? Were you ACC, Hilton, or JW?
Okay, until we see his answer. Oh,
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Where were you, Ian?
I think he's referring to he was on your team. I think that's.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my team. I gotta look at your picture.
We're like, who are you?
Who are you? Let us see.
Cinder is the best leader with the best memory in the world.
Oh, I have the worst memory.
But yeah.
JW, yeah, he was on yours, Cinder.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I gotta look at his face.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's turned into like an event where I don't even come for the event anymore. I come for the people that I'm working with, and that's with you guys.
Well, I think there's a certain sort of like part of me where like that's absolutely true. Like I love coming here and seeing all my friends, having them come into town because I live in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've always loved doing this sort of like background work on events and shows and things like that. So like there's another part of me where I just love it. I just love doing it. So I mean I love seeing you guys, but I love doing what we do as well. So
okay. I like it because I get to see everyone again. I also like just being a part. Of course, you know me. I'm a glutton for punishment. It's not the only. It's not the only convention that I do, or it's not the only volunteer work that I do. I do all sorts of volunteer works, but for me, primarily, it's all about seeing all my friends again. So, because I think that for me is what really encompasses the whole experience. And yay, Ian, you're on my team.
But yeah, I feel like that's an interesting thing that I noticed over the years when being a guardian is that your reasons for coming have changed. It used to be like for me when I first started, I was like, yeah, I want to get back to the community, which it still remains like a core aspect of why I'm a guardian, but I am usually coming here for just like working with my friends again, and we just have this common like interest in Rooster Teeth, so it just brings us together. Like for instance, the highlight of last year was probably our live like in-person D&D game that
was pretty fun.
It was amazing.
Yes. We didn't know it at the time, but that was the game where my character got turned into a ghoul.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We've come so far.
And also Captain Yent lost a parrot and an eye.
And none of them were my fault. None of them
aren't going to get it. They aren't going to get it.
No.
I know they won't. But we have a.
Long story short, mind control. My character might have been the one that stabbed out Captain Yent's eye and his parrot.
I don't know who Captain Yent is.
Maybe. Garth, if you know Garth.
Samuel Wolf. Jack.
Let's just name all of the characters and confuse them even more.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The reason we're discussing, we're all in the same D&D group, and we all like got together last year, and this was just like a big moment for us in the game. But if you hear us talking about some random characters that you're like, what the hell are they talking about? It's probably us talking about D&D. Yeah. We should probably like save that for another time. Make that like a supplementary podcast for just the people who play D&D.
The expansion podcast.
Oh, that would actually be a really neat idea for a podcast. Is get the people who play D&D, like the DMs and everything, get them together on a podcast.
And have them fight over which version they prefer.
Yeah. Oh,
So I know Red despises 5e or something.
yeah, he hates 5th edition
I love 5th edition.
and
I think Red wants to burn 5th edition.
He's more of a Pathfinder's guy, though.
Yeah.
And once again, we're just talking in like a manner.
Yeah, we should be talking about Guardian stuff.
Yeah, we should.
We should. I think it's called code switching is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
We're getting off track, as usual.
You two are getting off track. I'm the ones that are keeping you in track.
Guilty. Thank you, Cinder. You're the best.
Told you, the mama of the group.
But let's talk about why we're here tonight. Let's talk about the Guardian podcast and how it's going to stay structured. Last year we tried to do something different. We tried to stick with the RTX only formula, where we talked about nothing but about RTX and what our positions may be, or will be, or is, depending on the time that we are, like if it's like, May or March or something like that, where we have our positions or something like that. Like I think it was more of around May, June, or no, it was June last year, and then it was May the year before. But when we get that, and we can discuss our positions and everything like that. But until then, we'll talk about like how we get into RT and everything like that. Basic introduction stuff for the Rooster Teeth community, and then that usually holds us over for probably about half an hour. That's what I gathered from last year, is that we'd start to get past the introductory point about half an hour in, if we were lucky, and then it would just kind of be idle chit-chat for a little while. So this year I'm going to suggest I'll put out the schedule for the week, and then I'll say, here's the people who are on it. Let's see what you guys want to discuss for this week. And then if someone wants to discuss something special, like a topic, or if they want to plug something, they have every right to, and they can go and suggest that, and I'll bring it up on the podcast. So I figured we could add a little bit of that into it, fill in the gaps a little bit, because it's kind of, I feel like it's a little bit bare if you just do a half an hour podcast every now and then. So I feel like 1 hour is the sweet spot. So what do you guys think?
I definitely think that will help, because I was on the podcast a couple of times last year, and of course, like, I had already introduced myself by the third time I was on, and for some of them I didn't know what team I was going to be on, and it just kind of got a little bit dry because, again, we couldn't talk about anything that might have been like going on that was really cool.
Yeah.
Or other things. So, I mean, things are always more interesting when you can talk about stuff that you're interested in.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
like, we can talk about like our shared interests in Rooster Teeth, but they can only take us so far, because, to be honest, everybody's seen, like, for the most part, people have seen, are like up to date on most matters, especially if they're a Guardian. That I found out they're usually up to date on whichever show that they're watching.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to kind of like get that engaged conversation, other than like, yeah, I watch it, I thought it was cool, and then that's usually where it ends. So.
Well, yeah, that's great. All right.
Well, this year there's going to be a lot of big blockbusters coming out, so I'm sure you'll have, in regards to movies.
Oh yeah, that's true, because we've got Deadpool coming out soon.
Civil War.
Oh yeah, Civil War. I'm trying to think. There's a couple others that are coming out. I just can't put my finger on it.
Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, Suicide Squad, Batman vs Superman, I believe. Warcraft. But
Warcraft, right.
That's in December though, so it's like way after.
It doesn't matter. It's in December. It doesn't matter.
Assassin's Creed comes out in December too, I think.
Yeah, if they decide to actually go through with that one, because sometimes they get close.
Do we know is it a new character, or is it like
brand new character?
It's always a brand new character. Every game is a brand new character. So,
well, like, I know, but like,
except for the Ezio trilogy.
I was
Sort of.
hoping that they weren't trying to make Michael Fassbender be like Ezio or Altair or something,
No.
because I'm like, he's white. So that makes me feel slightly better. Not much better though.
Make everybody white, like the Gods of Egypt trailer. That awful piece of crap movie.
Never saw it.
Oh no,
Never saw it.
it hasn't come out yet. I don't believe. But basically, what is they're establishing gods of the Egyptian religion as something like a lot more badass, like kind of robotic in ways. And everybody's white because they got Gerard Butler, they got Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, who's Jaime Lannister on Game of Thrones, or as you guys know him as Schwargen Heckengard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like everybody's white for the most part in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, in defense of that, not to say that there's not like an issue, but in defense, a lot of times casting offices, they're looking for certain types of characters and people who can actually play those types of characters.
That's very true.
I mean, because in the casting office, they'll put, we need a very muscular man.
That's
or
true.
We need a effeminate man, you know?
Yeah, they try to keep it, how to say this? They try to keep it like very short and sweet so they don't spoil what it is.
Yeah.
So
that's not to say there isn't an issue, but it's just that sometimes it just kind of happens that way. Sometimes it's just how the production office works. I mean, there's a lot of varieties into how casting happens. So it's the same thing with the award ceremony. I read somewhere like the whole breakdown of how it happens, and it doesn't necessarily it's not necessarily the response on the quality of acting, but more of the popularity for the old guys. I don't know. I just read it.
Well, either way, yeah, it's a lot more complicated than we could actually imagine. But not to mention CGI usage is bad as well. Yeah, it seems, how to say this? It looks like something like you'd see for a Transformers movie, just like a little bit overdone.
Okay.
Like way too much, but that's the nature of this the film industry nowadays. It's just a lot of CGI. I don't know why, considering that it's probably just cheaper to hire lesser actors or just like hired like practical set pieces. But I guess if you're going for big and epic, might as well go CGI.
I don't want to get into the debate of practical versus CGI, but
it can vary.
Really good.
Yeah, it can be.
There's a lot of factors that go into things.
I think one of the best blends I've seen of like practical effects being mixed so beautifully with CGI has been Mad Max Fury Road.
Or Star Wars.
Yeah. Either of those, like they got that blend pretty well.
Oh yeah. Mad Max was so beautiful. I love that. Just every shot in that thing.
I just love that movie so much. Oh man, it was so good.
Speaking of movies, I just saw The Revenant tonight.
Yeah?
And I liked it. I enjoyed it. Not a very happy movie, let's just say that.
What? Isn't it about a guy who gets left for dead after being mauled by a bear?
Yeah, like like my mom went to watch it with me,
happy.
My mom and my sister came with me to see it. My mom was like, "Yeah, there wasn't." She's like, "It's like I was expecting something, a little bit more happy." I'm like, "Mom, it's a revenge story. Of course, it's not going to be happy."
The title is The Revenant, Mom. Yeah.
It's a sad movie.
What's
the boy in the striped pajamas?
Oh my God! Please, that's incredibly depressing.
Fern Gully.
Oh.
No, I'd say the boy in the striped pajamas. pretty much.
Ferngully, you get Tim Curry. So.
No. Yes, and Robin Williams.
Yeah.
But no, Boy in the Striped Pajamas. If you want to cry, if you want to be depressed, watch that movie.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of it, you know what's already gonna happen.
I have enough things in my life that already make me want to cry, so
it's actually
I'm gonna not watch that.
It's actually a pretty touching movie, it's actually very sweet. It's just because of the time period that it takes place, and because just the setting itself, it's just automatically depressing.
Oh yeah.
But it's a really good movie. Incredibly good.
I'd recommend it too. I think I saw it like a year or two ago. I can't remember how long.
I saw it years ago.
Well, it's like I think I talked about it in like a class a while ago, so like I know everything that would happen in that movie, but I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I'd say I really recommend watching it because it's depressing, but it is very touching. Kind of like Barfy. Have you finished that yet, Colin? I mean, not Colin. Mexican names, Jordan!
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Colin is even more white than Jordan, okay?
I didn't call you Jordan. I'm sorry.
Man, it's daylight. It's daylight out here in Japan.
Did I not correct myself and call you Jordan?
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I mix up names all the time. You guys know that.
I have not finished that movie. Not yet.
You gotta finish it. It's still on Netflix.
I know. I've got like an hour left in the movie too. So.
I know. It's a 2-hour movie and it's filled with fun.
Let's see. Mark or Undead Drunk says again, CGI is fine as long as it's used well and in the right way. And yes, you're right. If it's used in the correct way, like in Star Wars and Mad Max, if it's used in the correct way, it's perfect. And then, and that is a long debate. Might as well start up a religion debate.
Yeah, let's not.
Oh, let's bring Darren back onto the podcast. He liked to talk about religion, so.
I don't.
No, just leave.
All I will say is that my religion course that I took at UT was very interesting.
Yep.
Great. Yeah. See, that's like the most chill statement you can make about religion. Like anything beyond that, and we're just like, nope.
It's very interesting.
It is. We actually had to do a field study, which is
really?
Pretty cool. Yeah. I got sent to a Taiwanese Presbyterian church.
Huh.
Yeah.
That does actually sound really interesting.
Down the street. Yeah, he gave a whole bunch of students different places around town that did different sort of Asian. It was specifically Asian religions, but again, it also wasn't. But he gave each student, I think there was about 28 of us, but each student got like a place that they could visit for about a week, and then they had to write a report on what they saw, how that correlates to the things that we studied. One of the bigger differences was first generation, 1.5 generation, and second generation. So it was interesting.
Yeah, I haven't had a religion class. I don't think since I've been in high school, because I went to a Christian school. But other than that, I haven't had a religion class in college yet. I probably should. But
you can often pick, like, this is what I did with my school, and a lot of people don't know that they could do this. If there's a particular subject that you don't like I really cannot stand U.S. history whatsoever, yet it's required. I actually went to my dean and I asked if there was any substitute courses that I could take that would count for U.S. history, and they said yes. And they gave me this whole list of courses that I could take, and I decided to take an anthropology course on the First Nations people, which was actually much more interesting than learning about U.S. history, because it was still history, but still it was far more interesting. So you can always see if there's a substitute course.
Yeah, definitely. I will definitely give it a try once I get all my engineering courses out of the way. But
Ugh, engineering.
Yeah, I know, but it's
Be like me, come to a liberal arts college. I switched my first year of college. I was biology, and now I'm just like, nope. Because I had to take chemistry for that, and I don't do. I'm bad at chemistry. So now I'm a rhetoric and writing major, and I'm much happier with my life.
Yeah, I chose the hard path. I decided to stress myself out as much as possible and give myself the limited amount of sleeping time.
Oh. Yeah, see, no. Sleep is good.
But I do love engineering, though. I'm a math guy, so I love everything about it.
I'm a language person. This year I'm taking French and Korean.
I'm trying to think.
Math is not a good thing for me.
I'm still trying to figure out, like, I need a good teacher for Japanese, because that's, like, the one language I really do want to learn.
Guess what language Cinder knows?
Yeah, Japanese.
I'm going for 4 languages, y'all.
God, I wish I had the... Well, I think I do have the memory for it, but I just don't have the time with, like, courses and everything to actually go and learn 4 different languages. I would love to. I just don't have the time right now.
My goal is to know about 6 languages.
So
ultimately.
So learn a couple more languages and become an interpreter for the CIA.
French and Korean are my next 2. And then I think I'm going to learn an ancient language, like Latin or Gaelic. And then maybe either Italian, German.
So romantic.
Italian or German.
Okay. But I'm not sure about German. I know Latin is not that tough, like, but if you do learn Latin, like I did in middle school and high school, it definitely helps with the English language, especially on your SATs. I got a much higher score on my SAT because I knew all the Latin and like the roots and everything.
Right, because they do those like, what does this word mean?
I don't want to. For Ian, I don't want to take sign language, mostly because I'd be overly conscious of what my hands are doing when I'm not signing. So
yeah,
like, I just know enough to get my way through in a crowded bar.
I even screwed up on like some of the simplest sign language things. Like someone was asking me, like, do you even know what like I think it was like thank you or something was, and I did this, which is fuck you in Italian. And I was like, oh wait, no, that's not it. And I was like, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. No, I know the basics of sign language, but that's pretty much all I'm going to keep it at. If I'm put in a situation where I need to learn sign language, then it will, but I would totally be the type of person where I would just be overly conscious of what my hands are doing when I'm not even signing, because I do use my hands a lot to talk.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I don't know if it's probably the Spanish side of me that does it. Although I do have a little bit of Italian and French in me.
Spanish and Italian, like, obviously you're going to talk with your hands, Cinder.
Yeah, my family does it all the time. But yeah, I would be overly conscious of what my hands would be doing. So that's why I'm not doing sign language. But my goal right now, I've taken French and Korean. I've actually got a friend who is teaching French over at UT. And then she also is half Korean, so I can practice my Korean with her. But Austin has a huge Korean population as well, so.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, we have a majorly big Korean population here.
I never would have expected that of all the ethnicities.
We have a huge Samsung factory out here. It's been here for years.
Oh, really?
For 5 years, and ever since it came here, the Korean population has just exploded. So we have there's a little Korean town, and then there's small little Korean markets that pop up off of 183. They're like off 183, and then there's the Korean market up north, and then there's multiple Korea houses here, and then some hidden areas I'm not even aware of.
Austin's a big city, so there's bound to be a few spots.
Yep. Naturally.
Ian says, "I never thought about it. Thought about that. I don't use my hands to talk as much as others."
Yeah, I use my hands a lot to talk, so.
Yeah,
So you'd be worried about using your hands to talk when you're not trying to actually use your hands to.
Yeah, because
talk.
I'd be conscious if I was actually doing a sign of some sort, because I do use my hands to talk a lot. If I don't want to use my hands, I have to be fiddling with something, like I've been fiddling with my phone. So because it's just one of those things that I have to do.
And when we play D&D, you fiddle with your dice.
Oh yeah.
You guys are totally on it.
Oh man, yeah. God, I can't wait till next week that we can start getting our game back on.
I'm so excited. We need to kill freaking Count Stahl. I'm tired of him.
Girl.
And his sass.
Girl, you are just obsessed with D&D. Did you check out those links that I told you?
Not quite yet.
Jordan, this is what I told her, because she keeps, every time she starts a conversation with me, it has something to do with D&D. And I told her, you are obsessed. You need to get your fix. There are plenty of places around Austin that are during campaigns. So I sent her all these links for her to go to check out so she can join a campaign. You know what she said afterwards? She's like, there's enough here where I could play a campaign every day of the week.
I'm not going to, but it's been a rough week since Colin was in Australia. We can't play.
You should really try out some of those groups, girl.
I'll look at them. I might do because I have classes that go until like right in the middle of rush hour, Mondays and Wednesdays, and I just don't want to drive home in that. So
yeah, check out the group that's over at ET.
Yeah.
But,
and we're back on D&D.
Yeah, that's the general nature of this trio. Or anybody with Jack and Colin as well, and Garth and Anne. How many people do we have in our... So that's all the people we have in our group, right?
Garth is off and on.
Yeah, Garth... Yeah, but still, he's part of the group.
He is part of the group. He's just off and on. So we really only have 5 people, which is a good number.
Mm-hmm. I think so, too.
Yeah, I don't think we can add any more people, because there have been a few instances where it can take an hour or 2 just to do one battle.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Oh, freaking Reardon.
That's why I think it's really interesting when I watch Critical Role. For people who don't know what that is, that's Geek and Sundry's D&D Twitch stream thing that they're doing. It's like 3 hours a week on Thursdays, and they do a D&D campaign during them. I recommend it. It's with a bunch of voice actors, like Matt Mercer, Travis Willingham, who's Colonel Mustang in Full Metal Alchemist, Laura Bailey, you know her from stuff like, Tales from the Borderlands and a bunch of other games, and Ashley Johnson, who is Ellie from Last of Us. So she's in it as well.
A game I have yet to play.
Oh, it's such a good game too.
A game I have yet to play. I don't have a PlayStation. I need to get a PlayStation to play it.
No,
yeah.
Someone needs to have Inquisition on 360 so I could do fucking multiplayer with them.
That's like that. I think she's looking at both of us. So.
Look, my 360 is in San Antonio.
Why haven't you brought it up yet?
Because my brother plays on it.
Is it his?
No, I paid for it with my own money, but he plays on it a lot. And his brother, my brother in Wisconsin, plays with him more often than I would probably play on the Xbox.
If it was my brother, I'd be like, bitch, get your own.
He is 19. I should probably tell him to get his own, but he doesn't have a job.
He can get one. He could start off with just like all of us. My first job was at Sonic, and I was 15.
Sick. Yeah.
I do not eat there anymore.
Oh, I'm not too much of a fan of Sonic, so
I
do not eat there anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going on food. This is a dangerous.
Yeah, let's steer clear. I haven't had dinner yet.
Hey, I had my dinner.
Yes, you did. Oh, I actually had potatoes as well for my dinner, so.
I had baked potatoes.
What's everyone eating potatoes?
Potatoes are good.
I had ramen for lunch. It was,
the
I'm a
typical
college student.
cuisine.
Stuff is so bad for you.
Ramen.
It really is. It's really bad for you.
It's really bad for you. Trust me on that. Because I was on a finance crunch, and I essentially had ramen every day for 2 weeks. I got so sick. So sick.
Yeah. Well, I don't do it. I don't eat ramen that often. Thank goodness.
It's still very much bad for you. Very bad for you.
I know. I usually just eat sandwiches if I get hungry, but I was a little bit tired of eating sandwiches. Again, because I was having them every day. So yeah.
I'm at work right now, so feel lucky you. Yeah, we could be at work right now. I'm glad that I have these 2 days off before I have to go back.
You know what? You could be in my situation where you have no work. And
very true.
You have debt. Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Someone can't afford food anymore. Woohoo!
Alrighty.
That's why she's.
And on that note.
That is why I'm eating potatoes.
Other than the fact that they're delicious, but
they are delicious.
But yeah, basically that's what we're doing right now tonight. This is what I hope to achieve with everybody on the Guardian podcast in some shape or form. So that's why I'm going to be doing, basically talk about something. With us, we didn't really have to discuss. All we had to do is come together beforehand. But yeah, I'll set up a little conversation between the people who are in the next week and see what they would like to discuss.
To answer Mark's question, I babysit in between, and that's not exactly stable. I can't exactly go to the parents and say, "Hey, I need money. Can you take the time off?" So I make enough generally in the middle of the month to pay most of my bills, but not all of them.
I don't think he's discussing that. I think he's saying, let's get this podcast dark. I think he made a comment before that.
Oh!
I could be wrong, but I think that's what he's referring to.
And here on vague questions.
I don't know. It came
decipher.
It came after the fact that that I said that I can't afford food anymore.
That's true.
So.
But yeah, about that. Oh yeah, we might have other things. If there's an announcement, a big announcement coming, we'll try to do the same thing like we did last year. We'll have on a special guest to discuss about that. For instance,
Mary.
Mary. 2 years ago, we got Barbara on. That was a huge event. And I felt bad because Sam Waldo was on that time, and her microphone did not work the entire time. So she kept on trying to make comments. I was like, "Oh God, we can't hear her. What's going on?"
It's okay, Ian. I still love you.
So it's you're off my team, Ian.
No, Ian's one of my good people. In fact, pretty much all my JW people are my good people.
Let's see.
I mean, maybe the other Guardian podcast conversations won't be as good because it won't be all three of us.
It might be a little bit better considering that people will know what we're talking about. We're not hidden under our character names and discussing D&D stuff. That's probably foreign to most people.
Wait, I'm just filling
we
in.
are a bunch of nerds.
I'm just,
I think they'll have a vague inkling at least of what D&D is.
I'm just filling in for someone tonight.
You're filling in for Druggy over there with the muscle relaxers.
Oh, I could use one.
Hopefully Jack will be back with us as soon as
possible. That's a good question. Let me text someone and see if they have any.
What?
Muscle relaxers.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Why do you know people that you can text about muscle relaxer?
Dude, it's my mom.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. I think that might be a good time to end on.
Let's end on muscle relaxer.
You have no idea. I have incredibly bad, like, my back, the muscles on it are incredibly tight. In fact, the last time I got a massage, they said on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, I was pretty much 9.
Mm. Oh.
I also started a job where I take care of an infant, so I have to constantly carry that infant, and it actually puts a lot more stress on my back. So either I have to go out and pay for a deep massage, or I could take a muscle relaxer to help loosen things up, and then I could work my back on a tennis ball and help loosen things up with the muscle relaxers. So
yep,
I've done it before.
So now onto the physical rehab.
Darkness.
Darkness. Yes.
You feel good. No, that was when I was on tour with Peter. I slept on something that had pretty much no support, and I got a crank. My muscle got so tight that I actually started getting severe pain, all up in my shoulder and my neck, and I could barely move this side of my body. And the moment I started feeling better was when I took a muscle relaxer one night and just slept on a super comfy bed. And I woke up the next morning. There was like nothing. There was no pain whatsoever. Everything was slightly stiff, but it was
workable.
So.
But I think that pretty much makes a wrap for this week's podcast. I think we only have like a couple more minutes, so is there anything else that you guys would like to say? Last little bit, like little words of encouragement for our new Guardians this year?
Do we have any new Guardians watching right now, or is this just for later?
This is just for later.
Goodness. I really have nothing. I mean, outside of the usual that we always spout every day. Not every day, but before the convention, like stay hydrated, bring your charging device, all that stuff. I really don't got anything because it's all going to depend on where people are separated.
Yeah. And that really does. But, Kira, do you have anything else to add?
Essentially, it's just like you'll be in a lot of pain, but you'll be happy about it.
So, Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know how active most people are, but like even if you're a fairly active person going from like your normal level of activity to standing for so many freaking hours, just like running around like crazy people, it wears on your feet and your legs and everything.
Yes,
so
be sure to
it hurts.
Yeah, be sure to grab a nice pair of shoes while you're at it.
Nice pair of shoes. Don't break them in.
Yeah, don't break
them in.
If you let's look at it this way: if you're gonna buy shoes for RTX, buy them now so you have several months to break them in.
Yeah, and don't buy them like the week of or the week before because they will not be broken in anywhere near enough as they should be.
Yeah, it's painful, but it's so much fun. Bring ibuprofen or whatever your painkiller of choice. Not like the good stuff, but like normal painkillers.
Or if you're on my panels team, I'll have everything.
Yeah, or go to your team leads. They might have drugs. Yeah.
But I guess my last little tidbit would be, depending on like where you are, like you might be very active, like the PAs, where you're just constantly running around, or like the Expo Guardians, or you could be, stagnant, like the G-Spot Guardians, where you're just kind of sitting in the room all day. But like, just to let you know, the Rooster Teeth staff really, really appreciates what we do for them every single year, and they let us know. And what was it last year that we even made Gus tear up a little bit?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we even made Gus tear up a little bit. So, thank Red for that one. But it was they really do appreciate us and all we do. Just so even if you're on the job and you're thinking, man, why am I doing this? There could be so many other things I could be doing right now. Like if you're in that situation, just think you're helping someone's day that much better than what it was before. And it's not just RT staff; it's the attendees as well. They really do appreciate us keeping things in line, because if not, there'd be utter havoc without us.
Don't downplay panels.
Yeah, and panels as well. They keep everybody organized in those rooms.
I'd say we play a huge part in RTX because panels are a huge part of RTX.
Yeah. And I would actually add on to that, like, don't be afraid to ask for like an extra 5-minute break. Like if you just need to like sit down or like go get a drink of water or something, talk to your team leader, whomever. Don't be afraid to ask for something like that, because getting a drink of water or taking that little break will give you the energy that you need to get through the next couple of hours. And they can usually hold down the fort long enough for you to get back. Unless you're in panels.
It's not as bad. Right, Ian? I made sure all of you guys had your lunches and your breaks. I'm sure Ian can agree. My lead and I, however, I think we have to start bringing our lunch and just eat it as we're working.
Maybe just get a cooler.
And drag it around with us.
Drag it around with you, yeah.
Now, I will say this, that don't ever be afraid of your leads or in panels, your lieutenants. We are the ones, if you have any concerns or questions, because at least my group came across this last year, do not hesitate to tell us whatsoever. Or them. They are the ones who can help fix a problem. And if they can't fix the problem, they know who to take it to. Last year, I tried to make sure that all of my people were comfortable with the fact that they could come to me with any concerns that they had. And my lead did the same thing. But your leads, I'm going to say that they're your best friends. They're kind of a mix of your friend and parental unit. Kind of a good mix of both.
Oh, if Mark is, if he's response at JW again, he has your backs. Cinder and Ian.
I can't see that. Who has?
It's on the bottom.
Is that the very bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah. JW crew.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. For some reason my mic died, so apparently for the last 5 minutes you guys could not hear me.
We were just going over to you. We were just like, all right, Jordan's got nothing to say. That's great.
Yeah. Basically, I said the same thing. Just make sure you eat, because there's no pride had in not eating during the day, because that just makes you weaker.
I'm going to say this because this happened to me last year. on Friday because we were so busy. I also forgot to bring my snacks. I actually did not. Okay, I actually did not have any food break, and I wasn't keeping up with my water. So by the end, I even did an after-hour panel, but at the end of it, I was in bad shape. Really bad shape. I could barely walk. So, do keep up with your food. Do keep up with your water. Trust me on this. You want to. You do not want to end up where I was Friday night. And this is coming from someone who also has to eat because of her low blood sugar and her low blood pressure. So, that was a really bad mistake. But Friday was just one of those days where it's just like, it was really chaotic, and we just couldn't break away. And I think it was also one of those is that my lead and I, we were making sure that all of our people below us, all of our panel managers, co-managers, and guardians in panels all had their lunches and their breaks. So I just have to remember to bring snacks.
Or just make one of your minions pick up some food for you, because we do have snacks in the G-Spot. So
we actually that was the case last year. We did not have snacks at the G-Spot in the JW.
Really?
We just had little candies.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, we didn't get anything over at the.
Hopefully they'll take care of that this year.
Yeah. Well, we made sure to have Red Bulls over there. Maybe we can actually make sure to have snacks over there too. So.
Well, I mean, even if it's something that they forget, that's what freelancers are for, right?
Yeah, you just
make them go bring you food.
Well, we didn't have food for the whole 3 days, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's something you probably should have talked to the freelancers. Like, hey, we have no snacks over here for people.
I don't know. I don't know if that was just me coming by when there were no snacks, like they had all been taken, but as far as I know, we didn't have, ever at the JWG spot, we didn't have any snacks whatsoever. I don't even think, no, I think we had water bottles.
Yeah, you had water bottles for sure. I remember that being there.
Yeah, but we did not have any snacks. We just had the little candies that the JW would leave for us. So
don't trust the G-Spot to always have snacks for you.
Well,
bring your own if you can.
At least trust the ACC. If all else fails, the ACC will for sure have snacks in there. Or at least for the past 5 RTX or so, we've always made sure that at least one spot for the Guardians has enough snacks to actually feed them. So that's usually how it goes. But you never know. Things could change. Like I'm saying, nothing. I don't know anything at this point.
Yeah, no, none of us know anything.
Right now, RTX is a giant shrug.
Yeah.
We're just whoa.
All we are saying right now is speculation. So.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main things when you're watching this podcast. Everything we say is speculation. If someone says something that's a fact that we haven't released yet to the public, well, they shouldn't be saying it anyways. Because this is a spoiler-free podcast. If anything is discussed in the Guardian forums that's not allowed outside of it, please do not discuss it on here. If you'd like to discuss it after we stop broadcasting or before we start broadcasting, you're more than welcome to. But when we're broadcasting to the public, please do not discuss it.
And yes, I like granola bars.
Oh, yes. Granola
if you bring granola bars, they will get eaten, Mark. I can guarantee you that.
Especially if they're chewy and have raisins. Mm.
Yeah, especially if they're chewy, because sometimes people just don't like the Nutri-Grain bars.
I like them.
The ones that get crumbs everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
There ones those are.
I like the crunchy ones. And I prefer
Nature's
the
Valley, I believe.
Nature's Valley, yeah.
Nature's Valley, yeah.
If there's one thing that I hope they do this year that they did last year, it's the satellite locations. Because I really do feel like in regards to crowds, it actually did help alleviate some of the bottlenecking that would happen over at the ACC.
Yeah, like for the like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was bad. Like sometimes, like for especially like remember the solo guy shoot? Like
Yeah.
it was
Sadly.
awful. Yeah, it was awful.
It was bad.
People were lining up on the freaking train tracks.
Yep.
So, but we quickly got that situation taken care of. But it's just really hard with just one facility, and that's why I'm so glad we had 3 facilities last year. I'm not sure if we do this year or not. I honestly hope.
I want to say that they've said that they are actually getting more space in the convention center itself as well this year. Don't quote me on that. I think I saw something about that. Yeah.
Well, I think in the previous...
Ian just said the same thing, so maybe we read the same post.
Yeah,
I think in the year before that, they didn't have the whole convention center floor. They just had half of it. So if they're getting more space, then they might get 3/4 of the space that the ACC holds. But I still do like the satellite locations. Even if JW was furthest away, I really did like the JW. It was a nice area. It wasn't like the Hilton, which had a lot of issue last year, and especially in regards to capacity. But I did like the satellite location because it did seem to alleviate some of the bottlenecking problems that tended to happen over at the ACC.
Okay. But yeah, I do completely agree. And I believe Bethany might have already said something on a public post saying that they might try to get another location this year. We will be back in the ACC. That's like canon at this point. But yeah. I think we might try to get the JW.
I like the JW.
The JW was a good spot, I think. The only issue with that was that it was a little bit further away from the convention center. But it wasn't
for exercise.
Yeah.
It was a good exercise. The other issue, I do know that for some of the Guardians over at the JW, there was the issue that if they... never mind.
Okay. But,
alright.
But I will say this. You will get a good exercise on being a Guardian especially if you're in one of the more active roles, like PAs.
If you have a Fitbit, you will go insane.
Oh yeah, like last year I walked about 46 to 48 miles. I can't remember.
With Miles.
Yeah, with Miles. Actually, I did way more walking than Miles did because he had me like running stuff up to his room.
I do. I remember that. Sorry, I saw the currently answering. Ian said that is true. Forced me to make a lunch, and I did. I went into rooms and I said, "Has everyone had their lunches?" And people who didn't have their lunches, I was just like, I look at the sheet and I was like, "No, got a lunch."
But.
I was thinking of you like angrily storming into a room. Who hasn't had their lunch? Get out. Go get lunch.
I think at one point I did that to a room.
Just start throwing like a water bottle or something at them. Just like eat, drink, something.
Don't show your face here again until you've eaten.
I think there was at one point last year and the year before that I was just like, go, eat lunch.
And that's usually the best method, though. Just say, go eat. And people might, like, try to protest or something like that, but, you gotta eat. And it's also a safety hazard on university's part because they need to make sure that we're up and on top of our game.
And we're not going to pass out, yeah.
Yeah, so, but, just eat, take a rest when you need it. Don't try to be a Superman. Just do what you're capable of doing. And I think that's a good way to end on the podcast for tonight. I will say a couple more things. The podcast will continue every Sunday at 9 o'clock. If it's not me hosting, it'll be either Jack or Jack DP on the website hosting. We might bring in other hosts as well to be guest hosts for a little bit. It depends. I'm still trying to work out through those points. as we speak. As of right now, I have everybody's names taken down for the guest list for the 2016 season so far. People are welcome to join right now. I think we're full up through midway through March, I want to say.
Nice.
So, which is, awesome. I'm sincerely happy that you guys are excited about, being a part of this and getting involved. It always brings a smile to my face every time I'm seeing people join in, because it's just more people getting to know each other and possibly more opportunities to meet more friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am going to release the schedule for the next 2 weeks after this podcast. This podcast will be uploaded to the RTX Guardian Podcast YouTube page. I will put a link in the forum thread, and I'll throw out a link on the official Twitter, which is @Guardian Podcast. So, and if you want to join in, and if you haven't signed up yet, you can email me at rtxguardianpodcast@gmail.com. All lowercase, rtxguardianpodcast@gmail.com. And I will put you on the waiting list. So, like I said, right now, if for the newer people, it'll probably be until mid-March till I get to you. So, but I guarantee you will be on the Guardian podcast at some point this season, as of right now. Last year, we actually had a whole lot of people, to the point that we had more guests than we had weeks. So, hopefully, we'll get everybody in this year. Until then, I'll see. This will be it for tonight. I hope everybody has a great night, and I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.